Save the Semantics, episode 106. It is March 21st, 2020. My name is Myro. This is the podcast where I talk about the coronavirus. Where I avoid talking about the coronavirus, but it comes up anyway. That's the podcast. It's been about a week. And things have been, hectic, for sure. It really feels like we're in or going into a recession, for sure. Like, that's just kind of where we're at, Like, this is definitely that point, where it feels like it's going into, a bit of a downfall and everything. Yeah, it's been a little tough, for sure. I mean, I've been able to handle it relatively well, but I know a lot of other people are suffering, unfortunately, dealing with it in terms of both monetary loss and health and that sort of thing. So it's been pretty chaotic and crazy and stuff like that. I've been just kind of trying to sort of wade through it all and just deal with it in my own way, whether it's just staying in, keeping relatively busy with work. Luckily, I don't really have to interact with too many people, but just sort of abiding the time and practicing social distancing, or as as a news correspondent, Dan Harris, as he would say, it's more physical distancing instead of social distancing, because if you're still sort of able to keep in contact with your friends and relatives through online measures and that kind of thing. The difficulty obviously comes with just being there in person and trying to connect through there, but with the availability of social media and all that shit, like you can still maintain in contact with the people that you're close to. So yeah, I think it's really more physical than it is like social, because you can still stay in contact, and how well that connection's going to be through like your through FaceTime or Zoom or whatever is whether to be seen, but it's still, I would still consider it to be social activity in a sense, just not in the physical realm, you could say. Yeah, I've just been kind of chilling in terms of how I've been dealing with it and all that sort of thing. Just staying home for the most part. I've gone out for like walking and that kind of thing. That's sort of something that the state of California has kind of promoted, which has been nice. I'm pretty grateful that I'm in California and not in another state where this is not taken as seriously, So I'm glad that action has been put forth and things are kind of being done about it. There's a lot of negativity, obviously. There's a lot of there's news circulating about how the U.S. has sort of failed to implement a testing process, the availability of testing kits and that kind of thing, which I think all of it is valid, but I think what gets lost in the mix is, the positive news, the news that things are moving forward. It's hard to look at it at that, right now, just because it's it's really hard to say whether or not it's hard to really see a huge leap forward for the betterment of people right now, but you try your best to kind of see what good there is despite everything that's been happening. There's one business relatively locally that's been around for a long time, and they unfortunately had to close down permanently. And that's like is like the hard part for me. Even if I wasn't even, it's not like I had like too much of an emotional connection with that restaurant, because for one, I never actually been there, but I was like, oh, maybe one day I'll go there. But now that it's kind of closed down, like that's just it's unfortunate. And like I'm not just saying in terms of like me not being able to go there or whatever, but also just like it's like people, the owners, the employees of that establishment put a lot of time and energy into that place, and it just kind of gets swept under this thing that they have absolutely no control over. It's really like a natural disaster of sorts. Like it's just not it's something that is not something that people can is sometimes handle. It's not, there's nothing in their power that they can do to really outright change the situation, which is really unfortunate. And the fact that people, they've lost their business, workers have lost their jobs, and they don't know how long it will be until they can find another job and that sort of thing. It's unfortunate. I wish the best for everyone out there that's suffering financially. I hope you guys can hang in there, because I can definitely attest to being under financial pressure for sure. So I hope everyone can kind of find alternate paths or whatever, they're able to kind of get through it along with everyone else. So anyways, again, this is the podcast where I try not to talk about the coronavirus, but inevitably do. It's going to be like this for a while. It's going to be a lot of this. But again, I really want to try to avoid talking about it if I can. But that took up like half of whatever amount of time that I've allotted, so we'll see how that goes. In lieu of that, I've just been chilling. I've been watching some shows here and there. I've been playing Smash. I've gotten kind of back into Fortnite, which is interesting. It's been a little while since I've actively played Fortnite. I did that a little bit more last year for sure, where I was putting in time and that sort of thing. It's been it's been a while since I've stepped back into that game, but it's been fun. I've had a lot of fun with it for sure. I've mostly gotten into it just because I was sort of just with friends, and we were just thinking about it, and we're like, okay, let's just do it, because like that's the one game that's like cross-platform and all that. So yeah, so I've been playing that. It's been fun. I've actually really enjoyed playing it, which is like kind of weird to say, like, of course, like, I haven't necessarily shat on the game or anything, but like, I really haven't praised the game all that much either, just because it's a popular game, and like everyone has kind of said everything about what there has been to Fortnite. But no, it's been a lot of fun. I've really enjoyed playing it, which is again like weird to say, but like of course, like when you die, it's frustrating and whatnot. But like the actual like the strategy of the game is like pretty entertaining. It's like it's engaging for the most part. I'm not very good at like shooter games, first person or third person. Especially first person. I'm so bad at like COD and like Battlefield and all that. I've never been good at those games. So this game is like a little bit different, I guess. So like it works in my favor. But it's been fun. It's been fun. I've been enjoying my time with it. I've been doing that, and I've been playing Smash Bros. Online. The thing is, like, what I like to do is I like to play like the tournaments, the online tournaments, which is like a feature that was added a little while back. But like right now, there's just not that much available in terms of like the tournaments that I want to do. Like I just want to do 1v1. But right now it's just Smash, which is 4-player, all for one kind of thing. So, but it's been fun. I've just been playing, Smash and chilling and that kind of thing. I've sort of been hesitant of getting back into Fire Emblem just because I haven't played it in such a long time. And I feel like I need to do a lot of catching up, and that sort of thing. And my headspace hasn't really been in the sense of like, oh, let's do some strategy. Like that just hasn't really been something that I've wanted to invest my time into. And like the game, like each like for like you know for each like sitting of a game that I do, it's I'm always usually putting in like, especially for the battles, like those battles can take up a lot of time. And like because there's just a lot of thought process that goes into like the strategy of the game, like which unit will I use against the enemy unit, and also just like the taking into account like, oh, if I place this unit here, will it get attacked by that unit? So there's strategy games involve a lot of thinking and that sort of thing. So I feel like that it's just a lot of like energy to put into like a strategy game. So I haven't really done that. But I'll probably get back into it sometime soon, just because like now that I'm like sort of officially on spring break, which is kind of weird to say. It really doesn't feel that way. But now that I'm officially on spring break, I'll have a little bit of time just to kind of like chill and stuff. I mean, I'm expecting next quarter to be relatively, lax for the most part. Maybe with the exception of one class, but this quarter was pretty chill, it was also pretty chaotic too. Just there's like a strike going on and everything that was basically for like the whole quarter, so that was pretty tough for sure. But in terms of academics, pretty straightforward. I already got a passing grade for one of my classes, which I was happy about, and yeah, next quarter will be maybe more of the same. We'll see how. I might underestimate the other classes, but we'll see. We'll see. This last quarter, that's crazy. It's gonna sort of go out like that. Uh, but yeah, I don't know. I think I it sucks. It sucks that I won't really be able to enjoy this last quarter. The way I wanted to. Like this quarter, I was sort of thinking. I don't want to dwell on it. I really don't want to dwell on it. But yeah, it's just crappy that we're just kind of thrown into it. But I think it's I think in terms of just being able to be resilient and that sort of thing, like it really like if people including myself are able to get through this for the most part, like of course it's going to be hard, but like just kind of being able to stick through it and then through this like next few months probably, like I think it'll be it would just make things so much like sweeter once once you have that feeling of being like, okay, we overcame that hurdle, and of course we're still recovering, but like we're able to get through a really rough patch, and that sort of thing, so yeah, that's that. But in terms of academics, pretty chill probably. And then afterwards, I will start. At least I'm planning to start preparing to study for the CPA. We will see how that goes. That's going to be an experience on itself. Nothing crazy, obviously. It's just testing, but I could talk about that. I could talk about what the testing process is going to be like. 4 tests, pass over the course of 18 months, I think. So a year and a half, and just sort of the rigor that I'll be going through. I'll talk about that. And yeah, I think I don't know. I'll still be looking forward to the classes I'm taking. A couple of them are interesting, and one of them seems pretty. Hopefully, it's pretty chill. It will be U.S. pop music, something like that. So I think that'll be pretty chill. Nothing too crazy. I might actually learn something. I've tried my best to retain information about certain like classes and that kind of thing, even if they weren't like imperative for my major. Like I think I've talked about this before, but I try to retain as much information I can out of each class. Just because like when would be another time that you could learn something like this, or like of course you could do that in your free time, whenever you do, whatever free time that you do have. But like, when would you actually like, read up on like Latin American history or like Middle Eastern history or whatever? Like you're not going to like. I mean, you might like that'll be good for you to kind of learn that information, but it's just, like it's not necessary. Like of course maybe it's something that you actually take pleasure out of and stuff. But for me, it's like I wouldn't really necessarily do this in my free time, So, I think, with all the time that was given, which is not too much, but these 4 years, I've tried my best to really take all the, information that I've been giving. Not all of it has to be useful to my academic success or career, but it's still something that's interesting to learn. So I've been happy about that for sure. I don't think it might be too early, obviously, like to really reflect on because I'm not done yet, but like I can do sort of it's getting there, So I'll probably do like another reflection thing. Probably several more reflection things once the graduation time is coming around. So that's that. What else? I've been watching some stuff, kind of. I've been watching some anime. I finished up that. I think I talked about it already. Attack on Titan. I finished that up like a week ago, which I already talked about. And this one anime I've been watching is called Welcome to the NHK. I can't talk right now. A friend recommended it to me, and I think it's been interesting. I think I've enjoyed it so far. I think there's a lot of great things that work with it. But it's tough. It's a tough kind of series to watch because like there's nothing like explicitly like that would be offensive or like maybe like shocking or whatever. It's nothing crazy. It's just like it's a very depressing story. Like it's obviously it's humor, it's drama, and it's drama mixed with comedy. The It's what is it? It's a slice of life anime if you're familiar with that genre, But it's just like it takes things to very extreme levels and that kind of thing, and the main character is just like if you like I would understand if people were not liking this anime just because like the main character is just so pathetic. Like he is probably one of the most pathetic like characters like you'll ever meet. Like he fails in just every aspect of his life, So that's like kind of hard to watch through. Like it's like I'm like wincing. I'm like fuck, man. Like stand the fuck up for yourself, Like you really want to like ooh, he's just despicable. He's pathetic, but you still want to see him succeed, Like of course you have like characters where you're like, oh, he's kind of a piece of shit, but he develops as time goes along. But like this character is like steadily, like consistently the worst. Like I think we finally reached the point. I'm on like episode 20 now. I think we're finally reaching a point where he actually might start making changes in his life, like might actually start doing something, But it's been a grind, I've enjoyed it though. Like it's definitely like a grind kind of anime because it's like hard to like sit through him just getting fucking just being pathetic. Like, so that's that. I'll probably do a little recap on it once I finish it. And yeah, I've been kind of just seeing what's around, just listening to music and that kind of thing. Just been chilling, trying to make the most out of this break that I have. Anyways, that's gonna do it for now. You have been listening to Save the Semantics. Signing off.